starting with the next lesson, lesson number 2 of the unit number 10, implementing multiple selection screens. In the last video, I have shown you the practical example of implementing simple screens as well as multiple selection screens. Now we are going to do theoretical part of this implementing multiple selection screens. So come to the main point. As I have discussed about the selection screens, generally selection screens you can create with the help of three statements. The first one is parameter statements, second one is select option statements, and third one is your selection screen begin of screen and selection screen end of screen statements. So we have three options by which we can create the selection screens. You can work with several selection screens in one program also. The standard selection screen always has a number 1000. In the previous video, I have shown you the use of the number of selection screen with the different numbers like 1100, 1200, 1300. So similarly, the system has a reserved number for the selection screen, and that number is 1000. So again, the syntax is same for creation of this selection screen, then begin of screen 1100. Then by using the parameters, we are defining the fields onto the selection screen. In this time, we are defining these fields as a checkbox, and then ending with the selection screen with selection screen end of screen 1100 statement. Now, how you can call the particular selection screen in your programs or in another selection screen? So we have a syntax which is called call selection screen and then screen number. One thing that I want to tell you about here, if the user perform an action on the called selection screen, then add selection screen event is processed. In the previous lesson, we have discussed about the number of events which executed behind the selection screen, and one of the event is selection screen add selection screen event, and which is processed when the user performs some action on a particular screen. Now in this event, the SYDYNNR system field contains the number of called selection screen. You can see I have told you about this SYDYNNR system field, which is generally used for calling the DynPro, and it is responsibility of DynPro to open the selection screen again. So this was all about the calling of selection screens, how we can call the selection screen through the main program or within the another selection screen. Come to the next slide. Tab strip on the selection screen. In the previous video, I have also shown the implementation of this tab strip, how we can add the tab pages on the selection screen. Now what it is, the tab strip allow the user to enhance the logical grouping of the fields and provide you with a clear structure of a large selection screens. As you can see in this figure, we have three tabs with the name connection, flight and booking. On the connection tab, we have assigned subscreen 1. On the flight tab, we have assigned subscreen 2, and on the booking tab, we have assigned the subscreen 3. So by grouping of all of these fields into a selection screen and making it as a subscreen and assigned to the tab strip, so it will benefit it to the user as well as client to see the number of fields onto a selection screen. Come to the next slide, selection screen as subscreen. You can also create the selection screen as a subscreen and you can assign it to the tab steps. See this example of a program in which the programmer has defined the selection screen as a subscreen with the syntax selection screen, then begin of screen, and the screen number is 101 as a subscreen. And now we are defining the fields on this subscreen with the help of select option so underscore car for gs underscore spfly char id. Similarly so underscore con for gs underscore spfly connection id. Now always we end the subscreen with the help of selection screen end of screen 101. Similarly we have defined the other two subscreens with the help of this syntax, and this is the output of these subscreens. Come to the next topic, defining tab strip on the selection screen. You can see in the previous video I have designed a tab strips with the help of syntax. The selection screen begin of tabbed block and then give the name of the tab box. This is tab box, and for 5 lines, that means we are going to create the tab block for the 5 tab blocks. So we are assigning the height of the tab box. Now this is selection screen tab, and then 10, this is the maximum length of the tab page, text variable it will showing. Now come to the name of the tab page. We need to assign a particular tab to a name, and this is tab 1 is the name. Come to the next one, this is our user command, because on clicking of the particular tab the user will perform some action, so we need to use here the user command, and the command name is command 1, and on clicking on particular tab it will call default screen and the subscreen is 101. Similarly we have created the other screens 102 and 103, and the block is always closed with the selection screen end of block, and the block name is tab underscore block. Now initialization part, that I have discussed in the last video how we can create our initialization part. We have assigned the tab 1 equal to, this is the name of the tab page with the number we have given here. Either you can give the other number like D11. Here the system has given the 001, similarly 002 and 003. So this was all about the defining tab strip on the selection screen. So this was all about the lesson number 2 of the unit number 10. Dear students, starting with the next lesson, lesson number 3 of the unit number 10, managing input checks and variants. You can evaluate the user input on the selection screen in the add selection screen event. So if an error or warning message is displayed during this event, the selection screen is to be redisplayed and the system makes all the selection screen fields ready for the input. That means when you get some error or warning message from the system, then the system must available the fields for ready for the input. So this we can done with the help of add selection screen event, and the syntax of add selection screen event is this one. You can see add selection screen event, we have the additions on F and on selection tab. Similarly we have another options on radio button group as well as on block. These addition you can also use for defining the particular constraint on the fields, selection tables, radio button group, or on the particular block. As you can see in this program, add selection screen on SO underscore DEPT. We have applied this event on a particular field on F. On F means here the field name is SO underscore department. If SO underscore department lower value is less than 60,000 and SO underscore department high value is less than 60,000, or SO underscore department low value is greater than or equal to 2,20,000 and SO underscore department high value is greater than equal to 2,20,000 and the city underscore FR is equal to city name, then it will display particular message onto the screen. So here we are applying the input check onto a particular selection screen with the help of add selection screen event. So if any error, that means we are giving here the error condition, if the value which is not lie and following these conditions, then it will display particular message for this screen field, and the screen field is SO underscore department. Similarly, you can also apply this condition on particular selection table as well as radio button group or as well as particular block. Come to the next topic, field input and input help. You can also apply field input or input help, that means F1 or F4 key, to a particular fields in the selection screen event. You can include this F1 field, F1 help and F4 help for the event at selection screen on help request and at selection screen on value request. The F1 help can refer to an individual parameter or a selection table. The one thing that I want to tell you here, that means when you add these additions on help request or on value request, then it will display a information message. A dialog message will appear. If you add on value request, the button for the F4 input help for the corresponding field will be displayed onto the output screen. As a reference for an F4 help, you can specify either the lower interval field or upper interval field. See this example program. In this, we have using this select option declarative statement, in which we are applying this select option onto the particular field SO underscore department. For SP flight department time default value is 80,000 and 2,20,000, and we are applying the help request for a particular field, and this field is SO underscore department. We are applying here add selection screen on help request for particular field SO underscore department and calling a particular screen for showing the message to the user or client. Come to the next topic, variants. As I have discussed in the lesson number 1, generally variants are used to store the user values or client values into the SAP memory, and these variants are generally useful when you either start a program frequently with the same selection set of the values or execute it into the background. So you can create any number of selection screen variants for a program, but there is a restriction is there, it cannot be shared with the other programs. How you can create these variants? After execution of your selection screen program, input the values of the fields and click on the save button. It automatically saves the values into the variants. If the program uses the several selection screen, you have the option of creating a variant of all selection screens or individually for the each selection screens. Now come to the next topic. These are the selection screen variant 2. You can see you can assign a name and a description to each of the variant. The variant are available by default for both online as well as for background processing. You can also protect the variant itself by the individual selection criteria and the parameters. By choosing only display in catalog, the variant will only be displayed in catalog and not in the journal value help. So this was all about the lesson number 3 of the unit number 10.